to appreciate as many as are able to make it to our time out today. So we introduce us to how we can gain our registrations as internationally educated nurses in New Zealand and Australia. We can actually convert that registration at some point. So that's what I will be doing in the next few minutes. And it's quite interesting because someone who's gone through that pathway has given me the opportunity to share what she's got. I believe you all can see what I have here. She actually started journey into New Zealand and Australia registration sometimes in. She actually started journey into New Zealand and Australia registration sometimes in. She actually started journey. So, like I was saying, she started that journey to New Zealand and Australia registration sometimes in May last year, and precisely the 30th May 2022. And this person commented that as school, she said, my school do me shake to send my transcripts. It's like our community in Nigeria. When someone has done you hard thing, when someone has punished you, when someone was like trying to hinder you, then you will say they have done you shegebansa. When they've harmed you, they've disrupted your activities and like serving like cogs in the wheels. So that was what she meant by someone or a school doing her shegebanza. And all that happened was that they didn't send uh, transcripts when they should send them. Transcripts, other documents, stock of maybe certificates, and so many other things that they should have sent. But eventually, she was able to get it done. And so, a CGFNS report was ready on 18th of September. Then she got, when the report is ready, they will let you know. Then they will assign you, your document will be transferred from CGFNS USA to New Zealand portion. That's the Nursing and Midwifery Council, where you will be allotted someone who is going to be your assessor and assess your documents. Then when they've done, they will now give you your annual practicing certificate. Then that means you are licensed to practice in New Zealand. And that one got to her. APC was possibly submitted and received on 25th of October 2022. Then when she is done with that, then she will now start her journey to Australia registration through the Trans-Tasmania Mutual Recognition. And that one, in most situations, it doesn't normally take a very, very long time at all. Honestly, in some past few months ago, by the time you've submitted, within 24 hours, you will get that registration done. They don't normally request for so many things there, and so it's quite easy. It's a walk in the park in most cases. So APRA received, she got her APRA registration on 8th of November. You agree with me now that this really came very, very fast. 25th of October to 8th of November was a very short period, honestly. Then she started the journey to AMAC registration. After your APRA registration, APRA assesses your credentials, they assesses your education, they want to find if it matches up with the level of bachelor's or diplomas in. So when they've done that, they will give you your report, and then you progress to AMAC. AMAC is the one that will assess your skills. They want to find out if the skill you possess, if it matches up what you should have to practice in their country. And so she progressed to this, then she listed everything, then got a AMAC report on 14th of February. I don't know why hers was this delayed. It doesn't normally take so much time to get, oh yeah, she was she was trying to get her passport, Nigerian passport. Getting Nigerian passport is like passing a camel passing through the needles. So she did that. Then she did her application, got herself a job, got her employment letter on 27/02/2022, and just name it. Then she would have to do criminal checks again. Criminal checks would have been done at some point, but then you still need to submit another one for visa assessment. So she did all that. Then she got visa document ready by 4th of March. And from 4th of March, blah, 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 down. She did medicals on 21st of March, then cleared from medicals on 26th of March, applied for visa on 26th of March, and this visa came out on 12th of April. You see, it's not a very tough or extremely difficult journey. If you mean it, you can do it. It's doable. It's something that if you are happy going through, it's a worthwhile effort. I would say it's an effort that actually worth everything we put into it. So this person is asking me, what about the person that have had APRA registration before? If you've had APRA registration, if you've been renewing your registration every time, then you won't have any problem. All you just need to do is, if you don't need to pass through New Zealand again, if you have APRA registration, all you need to progress to is to go on with your AMMAC. I do hope the person who asked that question could hear me clearly. So all you need to do is progress to your AMMAC, let them assess your documents, let them grant you what AMAC does is to assess your documents, the years of experience. They want to find out, how is it relevant? Fine, if it is relevant, how many years of these experiences do you have are relevant? Now, take for instance, if someone has been in the United Kingdom and doing HCA for maybe 2 or 3 years, then they eventually got their pins maybe in the 4th year, and they've worked in the United Kingdom for 3 or 4 years and they are applying. When AMAC assesses them, they will not count the years those guys, that person had worked as a healthcare assistant as part of the nursing experience. So the experience will be counted when they started working as a registered nurse. So that's what we meant. Now, let me take us down through to, I hope your question has been answered. Please do let me know if your question has been answered. All right. Yeah. So that is that about that. Now, let me go through the process of registration, starting from the beginning to us. Create your account, or let me say, have in mind to do this, because it is something that could be done. If it's not doable, then we will not say people can do it. People have been doing it. And honestly, people from Nigeria have done it. I've seen someone who went from Nigeria, they did their English test, passed their English test, then started the journey, go over to New Zealand to do the competency assessment program. And when they were done with it, they got the registration and they started practicing there. Some would, after getting the registration, convert it through the Trans-Tasmanian recognition and then move to Australia, depending on whichever one you prefer. None of them is bad. None of them is below par with the other one. It's just a matter of choice. Of course, we do hear that it seems Australia pays better, but it's all about choices. I've seen someone who is not ready for whatsoever reasons. They are not ready to leave. They are not ready to leave New Zealand. So it's about choice. Yeah, can one work for a while before CAP exam? Well, someone was saying this, that one cannot work. But then if you've been recruited, like the person that I told us got a visa 2 days ago and was telling me yesterday that person had opened a CGFNS account. She already passed IELTS, and I mean, people have been struggling to get UK jobs these days, and some people would have struggled to the extent that their English test or CB test would be about expiring. Then instead of it to expire completely, they quickly jumped into this, and she narrated to me that she started the whole process in November. She took an interview in January and she got that job in February. Then she started the whole process of visa application. So what some employers are doing now will be, the moment you've created your accounts and you have the required IELTS band or OET band, then they recruit you to go and start working as HCA. Then they will support you to do your competency assessment program, and you will work with them. I think it's sensible too to work with such employer that paves way for you. I've heard of many people doing it from other African countries. But the first one I would say from Nigeria is this our darling sister that just got her visa. They are our days are their nights are our days. So she got it overnight yesterday stroke. Overnight 2 days ago stroke yesterday morning, and she was telling me yesterday. So she just woke up to find that in her email yesterday morning. So she's actually the first one I would see to go through that HCA pathway. But there is another person too that already got that offer. So she's just waiting to apply for visa. Then on another group, I saw that someone also got something like that, and they were asking whether the person should told the part of UK or just go straight to New Zealand, whichever way the person is winning. But I would say if this New Zealand thing comes over to you, because sometimes you cannot actually speak expressly for UK employers these days. In those days, it used to be very, very fast. I remember I did my CBT in October and I got to the United Kingdom, October 18th, I think, and I got to UK in February 22nd. And really, if I was not delaying for so many reasons, I probably would have gotten to the UK maybe in January. Honestly, that's something that probably would have happened. So please, so those are the people that are working, being supported to work when they are preparing for CAP. You understand? If that's clear to you, Sister Info, kindly let me know. All right, and please, can someone have 6.5? I don't know why I have so many things blocking whatsoever. Okay, please, can someone have 6.5 in reading and 6.5 in writing? No, you are not allowed to have 6.5 in reading and 6.5 in writing. What you should have is band 7 in listening, band 7 in reading, band 7 in speaking, and 6.5 in writing, just like the United Kingdom. But I believe I've explained to us over and over again that you can get all these bands over time. Like, you don't actually necessarily need to use 1 or 2 results. You don't need to, UK will allow you to club just 2 results, and they will say if you want to drop a band, since their desired band in writing is 6.5, if you must drop anything at all, you must not drop less than 0.5 of their desired band, and in the next exam you must gain that 6.5 in that one. But these people, they don't have anything like that. You can as well have all your results in 4 places, and you can have band 1 in any, but make sure that if you have band 1 in any, the next time you have band 7 in that one, then that's fit for the registration process. So it's quite, I know it's not easy, it's not an easy thing or a very good or pleasant thing for someone to be writing exams over and over, but actually that's what some people are able to gather. They've made efforts. This isn't our language, and I can tell you categorically that even the people that own the language, they still find it tough in many situations to even converse in English like we do, or to write down in English like we do. So please, if you must do it, I think it's a state in Canada that accepts 6.5 in reading and 6.5 in writing, probably British Columbia or Alberta, can't remember precisely. But for this New Zealand, you must have 777 6.5 in writing, but you can have those results as much as 4 times, and they are not looking down on any band score for anyone. So even if the person has 1 or 2 or 3, the moment the person can actually gain that one back at the required band next time, they are happy with it. I do hope that is clear. Yes, so the people that used to do night duties that I said they will at this time be sleeping, they have decided to join so that they will learn too. So how many months should be expected for this journey by estimate? Well, if you are able to pack all your documents across in time, because you have to factor so many things into it. Factor, you've created your account, your document is going from NMCN, and some schools, your documents are going from some schools. I've seen schools that said they need to pass through the medical director before they could pass some people's transcripts across to CGFNS New Zealand. Doesn't sound sensible to me, but that's what they are doing. And this person has actually applied for the transcript as early as April, first week of April. The transcripts are still there. They haven't gone to CGFNS New Zealand now. So, but if you can get all your documents across, CGFNS in New Zealand will still tell you that they will upload within 6. They will upload after 6 weeks or something. How do they say that thing? So then, if they upload it, they start your assessment. I think you can finish everything. If everything gets over to them, you can finish the process of getting your report from from New Zealand Board of Nursing within 3 months. And if you get that, then you are good to go. Even if you are yet to get it, the moment you create your account and you've passed all your details across, or even when you've started passing your details across, you can start applying for jobs like those HCA jobs. Because I see that one as a very beautiful one. It's just like the one most of us came with to this UK, and they will support us. We will be doing like HCA businesses, but they will be taking us through medication training and will be adapting to their systems here. You know, the cultural work, the cultural outlook to things, they are quite different. The way we speak, we will be adapting and adjusting to everything about them within those periods. That's it, adaptation. And just call it whatsoever you can call it. You are learning how to acculturate into their system. So doing that, they will be paying you. But for someone who is going without those ones, without this HCA pathway, you will pay. Of course, even when you still want to do the cap too, you will have to pay. And cap is something that I see as a bit very capital extensive. But in a way, I still believe, for me, if someone have managed to get their English band, from my point of view, I think it's still better than picking master's form in the United Kingdom, or or coming over to study in the UK. And UK, you actually have to pay. And it's not like that payment you are paying to schools is culminating in your registration. It's not. Except these days that they are trying to be lenient, that if you've studied, then you can convert without presenting English test. You have to write this one, we have to write this for you, write that for you, and all that. And you can actually avoid all those things if you go over. Then you know that you are starting as a professional. But and if you calculate the school fees for the United Kingdom too, it's a bit capital extensive, and so many other things you can add to it. Also, if your child is 18 years, UK is not going to give that child visa as your dependent. And that's one beautiful thing about New Zealand too. I think for as long as, your child is still above 18, I think till 21 or 22, so far they are not yet married, they are still your dependents, you apply for dependent visas for them, which I believe is a very beautiful one, honestly, to me, because some other people have to bring their children to United Kingdom through student pathway, and their student pathway is not momo, it's not shikiriwamba, it's not rice and beans. So that's it. Thank you, my sister MS. I appreciate you. Yeah, you can chat me privately, but then I won't promise you because you actually maybe possibly know that my hands are full. You see, you know the people that have not been allowing us to do our updates now, they will always be there every time now and then. But then I will try as much as possible. So far, you are not going to rush me. If you are, I will want to make efforts to respond to you. But if I'm delaying, I won't want you to sit on the judgment seat and say, oh, she's not kind, so she's sentimental, oh, she's not doing this, she's not doing that. It's because my hands are really full, like yours. We all know. Then is it true that New Zealand embassy is not in Nigeria? I haven't seen any New Zealand embassy in anywhere. And you don't have to go out. All their everything is online. Everything about them is online. You don't have to travel to anywhere. Whether the decision is made in South Africa or North Africa or East Africa, it's none of our business so far that the visa comes to us. Everything is online. Everything is on. You fill your form online. You go for your biometrics at Teleperformance office in Lagos. You go to do your TB test or some other medical tests they want. They actually will do bigger medical tests than TB tests. You do all those things where they should be done. They always have their own they always have their contractors for those things. Just do them, submit, upload. Medicals will be uploaded for you by whoever has done it for you. Then you have no problem. Nobody has any problem with them. Nothing is extremely physically facing in this journey. Yeah, is that clear? Oh, no problem. Yeah, I'll try to get the link across. Yeah, please reach out to me. I'll give you the link. And we have groups on WhatsApp where we get all these things under discussion. Yeah, more questions, please. Oh, no worries. When you get the link, it's quite easy. It's a walk in the park. To be fair, it's an easy thing. I'll go over again through the how we can do it. What we do normally is creating accounts. After creating accounts, you submit the documents. I've made a video of how to create the accounts, the documents you will need and all that. You will need your ID documents. You need to notarize too. And you can use the notary public. You can use the notary camera, which I don't know whether it's really worth it for someone coming from an area that we are extremely financially buoyant or blessed. You can actually take it to a notary public in the country. We have we have notary publics in Nigeria. Of course, I know for some people it's quite it's expensive with some notary publics, but I got somebody's contact, the one that the person that did for me, and is still doing it, and is quite cheap. So you can just go along to them in Ile-Ife and they will do it for you. It's not really, really expensive, honestly. The Baba has been very, very considerate at every point in time. Yes, if you can, is COVID vaccine compulsory for New Zealand? I will want to believe they will ask for it, but because they were quite particular about lockdown, New Zealand, Australia, I won't even say ordinary particular, they were quite skunk about it when it came. So I'm sure they would want to request from it. But what I don't know is whether they are making it compulsory. Some nations make it compulsory for those who want to come and work with them. Others just don't worry about it. When we get to the river now, shebi we cross the bridge. We cannot shall die before death comes now. So how can we apply for the HCA route? Oh, so there are some employers recruiting, and like I said, it's when you've created your account that is actually the best time for you to apply. And when I mentioned HCA pathways, I think some people were thinking it's like the United Kingdom HCA things. that people who were working as HCAs back in Nigeria will just come over and do. But no, it's not like that. It's the people, those people who are nurses and will at some point jump into their own nursing profession, that this New Zealand HCA pathways are for. All along, I've combed everywhere I could comb. I've not seen any of their employers offering sponsorship for HCAs from other parts of the world. As busy as they are, as short-staffed as they are still not recruiting international HCAs that are not nurses. So the HCAs they are taking are nurses that are going to develop to registered nurses that will get their practicing licenses, and some of them would even request that your application for CGFNS should have gotten to a particular percentage before they will issue you your visa. They will give you your visa application link. That's what some of them will do. Yes, you can. If you have RN only, you can actually apply, but you will now be registered as an enrolled nurse. You'll be assessed as an enrolled nurse, and there is a bit of big difference between the money someone who is a BNSC holder will be making and the one that the person that is not a BNSC holder will be making. Let me have a look. Let me see if I can get that. I will try and see if I can get that one out. Yeah. So for a person who is an enrolled nurse, they will be earning like 61,146 at step 1. At step 5, they will be earning like 73,609, while a graduate will be earning, like BNSC holder will be earning 66,570 as a starter. That's per annum. I mean like per annum. So like a beginner in the step 1, you'll be earning £32, 22 New Zealand dollars per hour. That's about 16 point something pounds in the UK, which is actually not bad, because this £16 is what someone in band 6 is just what the person will be earning, is just like this. So a band 6, maybe you are really very smart, you got the band 5 job, and within few months then they feel that you are competent, then you apply for band 6 and they offer you. And some people will still be here 3 years, 4 years, 5 years safe, they would still not be in this band 6 position. This their salary at graduate level step 1 is more than what a band 6, or let's just say equal to what a fresh band 6 will be earning in the United Kingdom. It's not bad, but then that's what someone in step 3 as an enrolled nurse will be earning. To be candid, if I'm the one, I will actually not really mind extremely, because you can do that and do some top-up programs with them, then you will jump into the graduate level. Whichever way, you are not losing, you are winning. Whichever way, you are winning. All right, let me go back to where I was coming from. So fear not, if you are an RN only, all you need do is to start that process and get it going. You will be assessed as enrolled, you get job. I've seen many enrolled roles outside there on their on different websites that they are giving visa sponsorships for, and these are not opportunities that we should actually sleep on. I know Canada, Nova Scotia especially, is coming up with no IELTS, but then I sat down, I looked at the population of Nova Scotia, and I was wondering, I'm not a sadist, and I'm praying, I'm very hopeful they will pull many of us, but that Nova Scotia is less than 1 million people. So from all parts of the world where they are recruiting. So I know they will recruit us by God's special grace, but let's have our plan B, and this could actually come down as plan B. All right. So let me see again. Is there any what? Is there any what in Abuja? Let me know. Any what, please. Mrs. or Sister ON. I heard you mention transcript. Do we get transcript from School of Nursing? Definitely, any academic area that you want to use, you will get your transcripts from there. Someone was saying something like they were finding that people should upload transcripts on the website when someone had opened their own account today, and I think if that is it, it's quite good, especially if you have your transcript. It will mean that you can actually avoid going to school to get all those things, because some schools are quite not getting it. There could be industrial actions and so many other things could be going on with school. So if this is being done, then that is a plus, a big one at that. Can we commence registration before passing the... Yeah, you can commence it, but I think it's safer when you've had your band. But there's nothing stopping you from commencing your registration. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You can go and sleep. Bye-bye. There's nothing stopping anyone from commencing this registration at any point in time. I've mentioned for enrolled, I've mentioned for nursing staff, and interestingly, I actually shot a video today on the pay slip of a particular New Zealand nurse. You will have that soonest. I don't know when my editor is done with the editing, you will have it. The person was magnanimous enough to present us pay slips, and she actually asked me to make a video with it, and I've done it today. Hopefully something would be able to come out to us to have a good look at. And I've got some people too who have been so kind from Australia. They gave me their pay slips, and they asked me to make a video with them. And when I make videos with pay slips, please, let's get it straight. I'm not saying anything to castigate any amount we are earning anywhere. Whatever we are earning, it's God that breathes on our efforts. It's God that breathes on our incomes. So, but I'm just trying to do those things so that we have a projection of what we are going into. And where I have the information, I will sort of put, if I'm not even putting anything, put the accommodation fee, because that's the bulk that got money in these nations. Rent and bills. Bills I may not really work on, but rent is very, very important, because if you like, you can get there and decide not to use lights. You can go with candle and be putting you have candle stand and decide not to use candle. And if you are in the warm part, you might really not need, besides cooking and some other things, maybe chilling your water, freezing your water, cooling your water, or other drinks. You might not need to heat house, so it might not be extremely huge like we're having here. So but I did try to touch on the part of rent. Okay. What is the opportunity for... Yeah, Australia, don't actually drag it. Australia is good with career advancement. There's nothing to drag here. I have a couple of friends. I have a couple of senior professionals, senior colleagues. I have a couple of friends, maybe schoolmates, roommates, as in someone who we were roommates for 2 out of 3 years in School of Nursing in Australia, and they are doing really fine with advancement. I could remember there was another friend I had there that anytime she was going for training, UK will send you for training, and so you sort of, I'm not sure they usually pay you for going for trainings. But this one, they will send her for training. They will send her as in training within the nation. But of course, their states are quite big and farther away from one another. Pay for the flights, pay for hotel, then still give her money for going for the training. Those are not opportunities that always come really, really close in the United Kingdom. Yes, they sponsor nurses from everywhere. Why would they not sponsor from the UK if they are sponsoring from Nigeria? They are sponsoring from everywhere. Please, they are sponsoring. There's nothing to worry about when it comes to sponsoring. Even you're being in the UK will give you an edge. You know, I got New Zealand job. Few things confused me that I did not progress down. The moment I got the job and they were satisfied with my references, I never knew that I would be getting information straight to apply for visa from their home office. And I saw next I saw was home office asking me for this, for that. And like I was just looking for a long while, then I saw that the information was wiped off from me. Then my employer just sent me blah 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 blah. I was like, well, I wasn't told, so I would I be responding to what I wasn't aware of. And I got government job. Then my pay was to be like 98 New Zealand dollars per annum, and that was sometime June or July last year. Yeah, June or July last year. So, and they've increased the money now. It's actually gone up a bit higher than that. Let me have a good look. Oh yeah, my fee was to be 92 something then. So, but now they've increased it in March to 95,340, and that's the highest anyway for a nurse that is on level 7 and above. So, do we have any other questions? If we don't have any other question, I think we've done so well, and I think we've done really well. So all I will encourage us is let's go and start what we should do. Let's go and work on them. And when you are done with your New Zealand registration, when you've got the license, convert it through Trans-Tasmania relationship, you may want to decide which pathway you want to take to migrate to Australia. If Australia is your final bus stop, you may want to feel like, oh, I want to go to Australia, and which pathway. I've talked about the link. I'm sure I talked, in fact, I talked extensively about the link that I will send it. Yeah, I said it that I will send it. You ask if you could reach out to me, and I said you could. The thing is that you must not be in a haste to get my response. Yeah. So there are different pathways to getting into Australia. You may want to go as a sponsored employee. There's different visa pathways to get into. You can go with 482. 482 is a visa pathway that gives you another pathway to permanent residency. 482 and 491. I'm trying not to say 419. 482 and 491 are like our tier 2 visas. And that's something I really never wanted to do again. Yeah, if you've had employers that are not pleasant and you are on tier 2 in the United Kingdom, you would not want to take that pathway, especially if you've spent some years down here. You will want to wait and you can reach out to me. Just give a comment on our unified OSCE. When we are done, I'll put it there. So you may want to go and get something else that will earn you some degrees of freedom, and that's where visa 186 comes into it. If you can see what I'm posting about this person, I'm not sure if anyone can see this 180 visa direct entry visa grant received. 186 is an employer nominated visa, but it's a permanent residency visa. You know, UK gives us visa, but it will be clear. Just wait. 482 is employer nominated visa, but there is no permanent residency there. So you are just coming to work like UK tier 2, which you have to work for 5 years before you are able to get maybe ILR. This 482, you will need to lean on your employer to endorse you as being, oh, hardworking, oh, they like your face, oh, this. Then they now give you permanent residency. Or if there are opportunities to opened for you to apply for PRs, there are other PR visas, and you meet the criteria, then you apply. So that's about 482, and that's actually a bit better too than 491. The one I don't want to call 419. Oh goodness, where do I have it? Yeah, so 186 is employer nominated PR visa. Oh, I can't see. Oh goodness, what's going on here? Oh. I can't see all the charts. None of the charts is coming up. Oh, yeah, thank you. So 186 is direct entry visa, and it is a permanent residency visa. If you have that, at least 3/4 of the problems of migration is solved. You know what you can do in the United Kingdom now if you have ILR. You know you are like a citizen, you are just waiting for the passport, everything. Even if your child is going to the uni, you just pay like a citizen. If you too want to take courses, you pay like citizens. Everything you want to do will be like citizens. And you know the way these people do, the course you are doing for 15,000, their children are doing it for 7,500. And out of that 7,500, they are still giving grant of 5,000. Sure, you understand? That's what permanent residency offers. That's why my voice will be loud for anyone to try as much as possible to get permanent residency visa, because it gives you some degrees of breathing, as in you can breathe through from your lungs, through your mouth, through your nose. If you want to breathe through your ears, you can do it. If you want to breathe through the pores of your skin, the air pores in your skin, you can do that, honestly. So it gives you some breathing spaces. That's it. But you are nominated by an employer, and you will have to fulfill moral responsibilities to that employer. In most situations, the moral responsibility will be for you to work for that employer that gave you the opportunity to come into that country with PR visa for 2 years before you now gain your freedom and go to another place to work. Which is not bad, at least permanent residency is there. But even the need to stick to one employer is still something that I still like keep. I don't know, we have people I know Yoruba say, I'm still koi about. Yeah, I know it's fair, honestly, to be fair. It's actually fair, honestly. It's really, really fair. It's very, very fair. It's very fair. Now, we are done with 482. 482 does not have permanent residency. It's a pathway to permanent residency. 186 is permanent residency. You have moral obligation to your employer to stay maybe for 2 years. Then we move to 491. That one is like our work visa, and you have to be in the region. Is a regional nominated visa. It's a region that will nominate you. You know, in UK we have the country, we have the counties. Then you now have the suburbs. So these ones too, they have their country, they have their states, and so you'll be having like Tasmania, you'll be having like Southern Australia, you'll be having like New South Wales, you're having like Queensland, Australian Capital Territory, Northern Territory, Victoria, you have them like that. But these ones now have the regions. Those regions are like the interiors. So 491 is nominated by the interiors okay, we are short of nurses, we need someone to come and work for us, like rural areas, and they will want you to work. I think their own is 4 years to permanent residency. After you've spent 4 years, and you must be earning a particular amount. I think it used to be 55,000 Australian dollars per annum. Now they've increased it to 70,000 Australian dollars per annum that you must be earning, so that when you get to 4 years, you can now apply for permanent residency visa. I'm not sure if someone is getting all the stories that I'm talking. If you understood what I said, say hi, or I should come all over it again. Thank you very much. So it's after then that you now apply for permanent residence. But whichever way, by the time you spend 4 years in Australia, and 1 out of those 4 years you are on permanent residency visa, then you are due to apply for your citizenship. Do we understand that too? So if you've spent the 4 years and you get the PR, it means you will need to stay 1 year on that PR visa to get citizenship. Okay? Thank you, guys. Thank you, my people, my family members. So that is that about 491. Now you can move to 190. Visa 190 is state nominated visa. For you to be nominated to come to come and work in a state, it has a cap of like direct entry, this 1862. This, if the state nominates you, you must stay in that state for 2 years and work in that state, but you have no restriction to, you are not restricted to an employer. You know, with 186 you are restricted to your employer, except if you want to go and do agency and all that. But let's say an employer is annoying you, and you just want to say, waiting, say waiting they do you now, and you want to just do like guy man have a guy girl and just move on. You can't really move on easily. Of course, I learned that they are lenient, they will not bother as such, but you know, I don't think we should go and start on that level in another man's place at all. I am, sometimes it's quite difficult for me to change the terms of the things I've signed with others, because I just see it stylishly as breach of agreements, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the one to put my country in very terrible light with others, that they will say next time they don't want to employ from my country. I don't want to block channels for others. So you have to, I will personally want to stay and struggle, even if I'm having challenges with such employer. And that is why I'll just say, if you take 190, you can say this employer is not doing me fine, then you move to another employer, but you still move within the state, which is sensible. It's not like you cannot travel to visit other states, but you must stay in that state and contribute to their economy, tax wise, your skill wise, your culture wise, and everything. So I think 190 is still a bit more lenient than 180s. But interestingly, visa 180s are coming out really, really fast these days. The moment you get that and lodge your visa and do medicals, I've seen visa 180s coming out in 3 weeks. And see the one we just read here too. This person, just everything was approved on, medicals were approved, nominations were approved on 26th of March, and she got a visa on 12th of April. That's 12, then plus how many days? Plus 5 days. 12 plus 5, 17 days visa. Easy. And it's not like they are paying for, she didn't pay for any priority. If na UK like this, if you don't pay for priority or super priority. Oh God, UK just, they use so many Englishes to confuse my ancestor. So that is that about that visa 190. Now the baba of them all. And okay, I was saying that you must have 65 points to be nominated. And how do you gather your points? You can gather your points by your age. We count towards your points. your academic attainment will count towards your point, and that is where your assessment comes in. So all the things you are submitting, please, as much as possible, if you know you will be going this pathway later at some points, if you know that you may want to be nominated, or you want to do any of the permanent residency visas, especially the independent. So 190, 189 and 491, they are called independent visas or whatsoever, skilled independent visas. They are called that way. If you want to do any of those ones, your years of experience will really matter. So don't try to lose any of your years of experience as much as possible, especially anything that will make your experience to reach 8 years, because 8 will earn you the highest points in employment, and that's 15. 0 to 3 years of employment will earn you 0 points for employment. 3 to 5 years will earn you 5 years. 5 to 8 years will earn you 10 points. 8 and above years will earn you 15 points. Even if the 8 starts today, before you lodge that something, they will count it as 8 years and you have 15 points. Your degree or your academic attainment, if it is degree level, your nursing is degree level, that's 15 points. If it is diploma level, that's 10 points. So for your degree, you have 15. Let's say your age is between 25 and 32, then you will have a whole 30 points for age. And your English, if you have no 6.5, if all your English tests, if none is less than 777, that's 10 points. If you have 7 in 3 places, like you can have 6.5 in writing, then that's 0 points. If the person manages to get 8 bands in all the modules, then that's 20 points for English. But if they got 8 band in 3 modules and get 7.5 in another module, one of the modules, that's 10 points. So you add whatsoever you have in your English, add it to your age, add it to your academics, add it to your English test and years of experience, then that's what you will be able to pull. And the moment you pull that, there's a place they call, you create expression of interest. I will drop that link too when we get to the WhatsApp page. I will drop the link so that you can have a look at how you can calculate it, and you can calculate it. So, and your spouse too can give you points. If your spouse can write English test and have band 6 all across, then that's 5 points. You can add it. Like, there was a time I was thinking, oh, if I want to do this thing, oh, agbatide, oh, we don't age, oh, age don't beat us down, oh, this and that. But by the time I put this and this, and my husband too, I joined this age to, I joined this English test to mine, that it pushed up my points like significantly. And so what the moment the person is able to gather 60 points, the state that is nominating them will now add 5 points, and it will make 65 points. If you have 65 points today and you apply to New South Wales that is giving out nomination like pure water, as a registered nurse, you are likely to get nominated within the next 24 hours. I make bold to say that, because they are really, really short of nurses and they are trying to pull as many as possible as they can. But even if you can still not do that, if it is this 186, try. Just make effort. Let's assume you make all the effort and they don't grant you. You will actually know that you've tried. Then you will now settle for either 491 or 482. At all, na im be witchcraft o. And not trying sef, na im be no join am at all o. So what are the pros and cons of New Zealand compared to UK? Honestly, I don't want to compare any of the countries. I just want us to have an idea of what we can look up to. I learned that rents are expensive in New Zealand, and rents too are expensive in this UK. So I don't even know what to say. Like, my friend said she's paying 2,000 New Zealand dollars for 3-bedroom, is it house or flat? Is it house or flat? And my house in the United Kingdom is 2-bedroom, and I'm paying nearly 900 plus something pounds. Is there any significant difference? And she's still making maybe better money now. So I don't know. And another thing I was told is like you are allowed your kiddies to go into your culture. You know, here they talk of acculturation. You have to learn the of the land, such that you can actually lose out your own culture. My friend that is there said they want you to keep on injecting your culture into your kids, so that you've taken them away from your roots. They don't want you to emotionally detach them from your roots. And I think I love that, honestly. I really think I actually love that. And that, my friend, anytime we are talking like this, and she's in the family, she's blowing her tongues to her kiddies. And I'm saying kids that are very, very young, go. Sure, you understand. So I think I love that. And they have a part that is very warm. They have a part that is cold. Is in New Zealand is a very small. You know, I actually mentioned the population is just like 5 million now. Even our Lagos is 15 million. So it means it's a very small country. Yeah. Okay, how can a RN who just finished in November migrate to any of these countries? I'm sure if you want to do, you have to start from just the way we are talking now. Whoever wants to do it, but experience might not. The person will not have points for experience as such, but it doesn't mean that they will not consider the person. UK is quite lenient. They can grasp you at any point in time, and I don't want to believe that New Zealand will not do so, since they know you have to. Like, I think it's even better for them because you are still like tabula rasa. You've not learned so many habits that you shouldn't learn. You are just coming out fresh, and they are injecting their own practice into you. It's quite easy for you to grasp. To me, that's, I think, the best way to look at it. I would just say the person should kickstart it. Even my kid sister that is in school, we've put her in this way. If she wants to do it, we are happy to give her all the needed support. They are dash people to migrate. I didn't see what is under this. They are what, please? Type that thing out. There is this thing that is covering that. Okay, let me see if I can pick it from. Is it there? I don't know. I don't know what's under this. I heard they are dash people to migrate to New Zealand. They are paying people. Oh, possibly. It's possible. The payment is the relocation package. Like the one I got. So they wanted to give me, was it 5,000 relocation package? And I I kid you not, I've seen states, I've seen two employers in Australia that are ready to give 33,000 relocation package to their employees. I've seen one in Latrobe. I've seen one I think the second one is in Victoria now. Latrobe is in New South Wales, but they won't pay the money in a year. They will, I think the one will be giving 13,000 first, then 10,000, which is still not bad though, because now part of it. Oh, if UK don't give me that kind of money when I come, I for don they compete with riches to knack you. So, and that's the relocation package they meant. Me, then, they wanted to give me 5,000. And I've actually got job in Australia that wanted to give me 13,000. I've got one that wanted to give me 8,000. See, I got like 4 or 5 jobs on visa 186. I was just applying. I was just doing the interview, and the interviews were quite easy. But the challenge with Australia is, and New Zealand, they are quite particular about references. Very, very particular about references. I'm not sure if your performance doesn't please them. Maybe they are replacing with referencing, but then they are very particular with referencing. So make sure you get someone who's not going to backstab you when you need referencing. Make you start the do lovey lovey to everyone using pleasant names. My lovely, my lovely. And talking about the cons, New Zealand do have places of natural disasters. Of course, I've not really seen those their disasters claiming lives, boys. Last was it late last year, they had earthquakes and cyclones. I'm sure anyone that the earthquakes in their site, it's not funny, oh, but it won't be like the way we are just saying it, oh. Ha. Some people say, if nothing happens, the kind of anxiety and high blood pressure they will have, but there are parts that used to have those things, and people will be telling you, maybe you may not want to consider this part, or you may want to consider this part, and all that and all that. And besides, you exist to make. You have questions to ask people. At least like this, my sister that will be going soonest, the one that got her visa yesterday, she was presented where she should come to, and they asked her whether she loved it. Then she asked another person who's already there. The person said, okay, these are places that are good, that are not facing natural disasters. So pick from there. That is it. So you can actually pick. And so they are better paid, remunerated. Talk of that. Houses are big, roads are big. Our roads in the United Kingdom are not big. Our houses are not really big. Of course, there are houses that are really very big, but like standardly, our houses are really not big. To me, they are not like, it's not like not being big is an issue to me, because I just think they build to their environmental need. If the house is just too big like that and you will need so much heat to heat it up, they know that it might not be economically conducive for people. That's the excuse I build in my head for them having shukulu rooms, so that you can easily power them and heat them up. But these ones, because they have areas that are very hot, so their rooms are quite big, very big. Their roads are really wide, and they have very, very beautiful attractions. Ireland is a very good place to raise kids. Ireland is a very, very lovely place to raise kids. Okay? Yeah, do we have more questions before we call it a Wednesday? Questions? Questions? No, you don't have to pay back this money. Oh. They will give you a time frame that if you stay with them, I think it's if you work with them for 2 years, then you will not need to refund. They actually presented that to me, but if I had wanted to go, I wouldn't have taken it, because they said if I want to leave, then I will need to, before 2 years, I will need to refund them. Me, I wasn't even ready for any refund. But how much is even 5,000 New Zealand dollars saved that I will be stressing myself? Of course, that doesn't mean that people should not take it. People are taking it. People, as if I'm now going to Australia and they want to give me 13,000, sure, I will not take it. I go take am now. Shebi na to take am start something, even if not to do anything. Use and put furniture inside your house. That go serve something too. Uh-huh. And it's even part of Sorry. You have not answered my question. What band is someone with RNRM? Possibly the person will be band. What do you mean by band, please? Band. What do you mean by band? Band, though. Can you hear now? Oops. Oopsies. Hello? Can we hear again now? Oh, sorry if we can't. We call it a day then we come over to, oh, we can hear. I don't know what is meant by band here. If the person is asking what points they will be having, it will depend on APRA. I've seen someone with RN and RM and APRA assess them as degree owners, and that will mean 15 points. And if you are talking about the level they would put them in when they've got job, then they will, if they've been assessed as a degree holder, then they will be placed at that point too when they get jobs. So that is what I think I understand that by that. You have not answered my question. I think I've done that now. What's your question? You have my question too, ma. Which of them? Which of them, please? If you are saying I've not answered your question, please repeat the question. I need to track the question, and I'm just trying to track them. I don't know which is which. Which of the questions? My question too. You have not answered my question. I think I've addressed the RNRM thing. Yes. Does someone who has submitted documents with APRA needs to submit another? I think I've answered that one. So if that's the question, that anyone who has submitted with APRA doesn't need to go back to New Zealand, except the person wants to go and work in New Zealand. If you want to work in New Zealand, all you need to do too will be to do another Trans-Tasmania recognition assessment. Finish. It's just to pay and ask them to convert if the person is sure that they have their documents with APRA. So, which other questions? I've talked about salary steps, so Tete, and I'm sure someone talked about it. How did the document go to Australia, to APRA, without passing through New Zealand? What pathway did the person intend to use? To use the outcome-based assessment pathway. That pathway is not my mind, but I'm not saying it's not possible. And the person will need to pass NCLEX, which is one of the things, at least as of today, New Zealand pathway will still exempt you from. So it's not even the writing the NCLEX that I think is the challenge. But if you are in Nigeria and you want to book NCLEX, you want to book flights, you want to do all those things before you go and write NCLEX. I know someone who went somewhere to write NCLEX, and the money they spent on flight and housing and everything was like 1.5 million. So, and that's like almost close to what it will take you to New Zealand to go and do your cap. You just have to have some of those things added to it to do your cap. So if that's what the person is doing, I'm not blaming anybody for the pathway they've taken. Then you will need for them to complete the assessment, and if you are lucky to be granted the registration, which I really don't trust Australia to do, then if they grant you, then what you need to do would be to just convert through Trans-Tasmania relationship to New Zealand. That's if you want to go and work in New Zealand. But if you don't want to go and work with New Zealand, there's no reason to convert to their registration. You just get your registration from APRA and continue. Yes, I will try. Hopefully it's going to upload. Hopefully it's going to upload. I've made so many videos in the past few days that are not uploading. I don't know why. Oh yeah, go to Gamga. Oh. So, do I miss any question? Can someone on Nova Scotia pathway include other pathways? I don't get this question, but someone was asking if someone on Nova Scotia can do other pathways, and I was saying that they are different countries. So nothing is stopping anyone from getting registered in as many countries as they like to register into. So you can decide to do Ireland, decide to do New Zealand, do Australia, do USA, do South Africa, do Mauritius, do Fiji, just any country of your choice. Do Lithuania, do Luxembourg, do German, and all those things. You can do as many registrations in life as anyone loves. Thank you so much, my sister. Oh, yeah, I appreciate everyone. I will try to see if we can get the recordings across to everyone so that we can then consider. And I pray that God will make the journey easy for every one of us in Jesus' name. Thank you all. God bless us. Thanks for taking your time to be here. We really, really appreciate. Bye-bye. Bye. 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 Yeah, let's go. Let's go and sleep.